The more fat you carry, especially around your midsection, the more inflammatory compounds your body produces. Coffee helps tip the balance in the other direction. It also contains compounds that support liver health, improve focus and concentration, and may even reduce the risk of certain neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. But there are two critical warnings you need to know before you start making this muscle building coffee formula. Never drink coffee on a completely empty stomach, especially if you're adding all these ingredients, because it can irritate your digestive system and cause problems with acid production and gut health. Make sure you're not exceeding 400 milligrams of caffeine per day, which is roughly 4 cups of coffee, because too much caffeine can actually interfere with sleep quality and recovery. And without proper sleep, you cannot build muscle no matter what else you do. Smash. Like if coffee just became your new strength weapon, quality matters when it comes to coffee. Choose organic coffee whenever possible to avoid pesticides and chemicals that burden your body and liver. Freshly ground coffee contains more antioxidants than pre ground coffee that's been sitting on a shelf for months, losing its potency. Pay attention to how your body responds to coffee throughout the day. Some people are fast caffeine metabolizers and can drink coffee later in the day without sleep issues. Others are slow metabolizers and need to stop drinking coffee by noon to avoid sleep disruption. Know your body and adjust accordingly. Comment how many cups you drink daily. I'm curious. The foundation was always there. You just needed to know how to enhance it and use it strategically for muscle protection and strength. Coffee alone has benefits, but coffee, combined with these 7 other powerful ingredients, becomes a complete muscle building formula that addresses energy, inflammation, protein synthesis, joint health, blood flow, and metabolic function all at once. Subscribe next video is the supplement mistakes that cancel out coffee benefits. Now that you know all 8, let me show you exactly how to combine them starting tomorrow morning. You don't have to start with all 8 ingredients at once, and I actually don't recommend it. Your body needs time to adapt, and you need time to see which ingredients are making the biggest difference for you. Begin with black coffee, 1 scoop of whey protein, 1 serving of collagen powder, and half a teaspoon of turmeric with a pinch of black pepper. That's your foundation. Get used to that combination for a week or two. Pay attention to how you feel. Notice your energy levels. Notice any changes in joint pain or stiffness. Notice your strength during daily activities. Then start adding the other ingredients one at a time. Add cinnamon and see how it affects your energy stability throughout the day. Add cocoa powder and notice if you feel more endurance during activity. Add coconut oil or MCT oil and pay attention to mental clarity and sustained energy. This gradual approach helps you understand what each ingredient is doing for your body instead of throwing everything together and hoping for the best. Some people feel an immediate increase in energy and mental clarity within the first few days. Others notice that their joint pain starts to decrease within a week or two. And over the course of weeks and months, you'll notice that you're stronger, more mobile, and more confident in your body's ability to do what you need it to do. The preparation is simple and takes less than 5 minutes. Brew your coffee as you normally would. While it's still hot, add your coconut oil or MCT oil and blend it for about 10 seconds using a small blender or milk frother. This creates a creamy, frothy texture that helps everything mix together beautifully and makes the coffee taste like an expensive latte. Then add your whey protein, collagen powder, cocoa powder, cinnamon, turmeric, and black pepper. Blend again for another 10 to 15 seconds until everything is fully mixed. Finally, add your milk. If you're using it, stir one more time and enjoy. Let me tell you what happened with my patient after she started this routine. It wasn't just about the physical changes, although those were remarkable. It was about what those changes meant for her life and her future. And she told me that she had started saying no to invitations because she was afraid she wouldn't have the energy or strength to participate. She had stopped making plans because she didn't trust her body anymore. She felt like her body had betrayed her and was getting weaker despite her best efforts. Hit like. So this reaches someone who's losing hope right now. But after 3 months of this simple morning routine, combined with regular walking and light resistance exercises, everything changed. She booked a trip to visit her daughter in another state, something she had been putting off for 2 years because she was worried about traveling. And she started volunteering at a local community garden where she could use her hands and her body again. She joined a walking group with friends and was able to keep up without struggling. She wasn't just surviving anymore, she was thriving. And it all started with understanding that her morning coffee could be so much more than just a caffeine boost. This is the power of working with your body instead of against it. Your muscles want to be strong, your body wants to be healthy, but you have to give it the tools it needs to make that happen. This coffee formula gives your muscles the protein they need to rebuild. It gives them the anti inflammatory compounds they need to recover. It gives them the energy they need to stay active. It gives them the blood flow they need to receive all those nutrients efficiently. Everything works together as a complete system. She also told me something that really stuck with me. She said that for years, she felt like her body was the enemy, getting weaker despite everything she tried. But once she understood what her body actually needed and started providing it consistently every single day, she realized her body wasn't the enemy. It was just waiting for the right support. And that shift in perspective changed everything for her. And I've seen it change everything for countless other patients as well. Your body is not failing you. You just haven't been giving it what it needs yet. Comment which ingredient you're adding first: whey, collagen, or turmeric. The truth is that aging doesn't have to mean becoming weak and dependent. It doesn't have to mean giving up the activities you love or living in fear of falling or getting hurt. So, with the right knowledge and the right daily habits, you can stay strong, capable, and confident well into your later years. That morning cup of coffee you already enjoy can become your secret weapon, your daily reminder that you're taking control of your health and your future. Remember what my patient proved. It's never too late to get stronger. It's never too late to rebuild muscle. It's never too late to reclaim your independence and live the life you want to live. Start with your coffee tomorrow morning. Add one or two of these powerful ingredients. Stay consistent with it. Show up for yourself every single day and watch as your body responds with renewed strength and vitality that you might have thought was gone forever. Your future self will thank you for taking action today instead of waiting another month and another year, another decade, while your strength continues to disappear. Subscribe because I share evidence based strategies you can actually use in daily life. This is just the beginning of what's possible when you understand how to support your body properly. When you add 10 to 15 grams of hydrolyzed collagen powder to your coffee, you're supporting your joints, tendons, ligaments, and all the connective tissue that holds your entire musculoskeletal system together. Collagen provides the specific amino acids, glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline, that your body uses to rebuild these crucial structures. Without adequate collagen, your joints start to deteriorate, and the cartilage that cushions your bones starts to wear away. The tendons that connect muscle to bone start to weaken, and the ligaments that hold your joints together start to stretch and fail. The beautiful thing about collagen powder is that it dissolves easily in hot coffee and has absolutely no taste. There's no excuse not to include it. You're not changing the flavor of your coffee. You're not creating some weird texture. You're just adding invisible support for your joints and connective tissue. And so I've had patients tell me that within just 2 weeks of adding collagen to their daily routine, they noticed a reduction in joint creaking and popping when they moved. After a month, they reported less pain and stiffness, especially in the morning when they first got out of bed. Drop a like if you want the real fix for joint pain, not band aids. After several months of consistent use, they found they could do activities they had given up on years ago because their joints simply felt better and moved more freely. They could kneel down to garden and stand back up without help. They could reach overhead to put dishes away without shoulder pain. And they could walk up and down stairs without their knees complaining with every step. This is a difference between just having muscles and actually being able to use those muscles in your daily life. Comment stairs or chair. Which one is harder for you right now? Collagen is the glue that holds your body together. And without it, everything starts to fall apart, no matter how strong your muscles are. Think of it as the foundation repair that needs to happen before you build the house. You can have the best building materials in the world, but if the foundation is crumbling, the house won't stand. Subscribe if you want the full plan without expensive supplements or type. But collagen just protects what you have. Number three is the ingredient that actually builds new muscle tissue. This is not optional if you're serious about stopping muscle loss and rebuilding strength. Number three is whey protein, and it's the most important muscle building ingredient in this entire formula. When you add 20 to 25 grams of high quality whey protein to your coffee, which is typically one scoop, you're giving your muscles all 9 essential amino acids in the perfect ratios for muscle protein synthesis. Your body cannot make these amino acids on its own. You must get them from food. And if you're not getting enough of them, your muscles will break down to supply what your body needs for other functions. What makes whey protein so special compared to other protein sources is its high concentration of leucine, which is the amino acid that literally flips the switch in your muscles to start the building and repair process. Leucine is like the foreman on a construction site who tells all the workers to start building. Without enough leucine, the construction workers just stand around doing nothing, even if all the building materials are available. Study after study has shown that whey protein is the most effective protein source for combating sarcopenia in older adults. Nothing else comes close in terms of absorption speed and amino acid profile. You want to drink this after some light morning activity or alongside your breakfast, not on a completely empty stomach. The combination of movement and protein is what signals your muscles to grow stronger instead of breaking down. When you move, you create micro damage in your muscle fibers. When you provide protein, immediately after that movement, your body repairs those fibers and makes them stronger than before. That's how muscle grows. That's how strength increases. That's how you rebuild what you've lost. Tap. Like if you're done relying on willpower alone, you need science. Some people worry about the taste of adding whey protein to coffee, but if you choose an unflavored or vanilla flavored whey protein, it actually blends quite well, especially when you're also adding cocoa powder, like we discussed earlier. The key is to use a good quality whey protein isolate or concentrate from grass-fed cows if possible. Avoid whey proteins that are loaded with artificial sweeteners, fillers, thickeners, and other junk that your body doesn't need. You want pure protein that your body can recognize and use efficiently. Read the ingredient label. If it has more than 5 ingredients, it's probably not the best choice. You want whey protein, maybe a natural flavor, and that's it. Nothing else. The cleaner the protein, the better your body can use it to build muscle. This is the foundation of everything else we're doing here. Without adequate protein, nothing else matters. You can have all the energy in the world, all the anti-inflammatory compounds, all the joint support, but without protein, you cannot build muscle. Come in your goal, strong legs, better balance, or no falls. Subscribe. I post the follow-up protocol next. And it's a game changer. Whey builds muscle, but number 2 is your insurance policy against the inflammation trying to tear that muscle down. Number 2 is like an insurance policy against the inflammation that's actively destroying your muscle tissue right now. When you add half a teaspoon of turmeric powder and just a pinch of black pepper to your coffee, you're accessing one of nature's most powerful anti-inflammatory compounds called curcumin. Studies have shown that curcumin can reduce muscle soreness and inflammation by up to 48%, which means faster recovery, less pain, and better mobility throughout your entire body. But here's the catch that most people don't know, and this is crucial. Your body can barely absorb curcumin on its own. The absorption rate is extremely low, which means most of the turmeric you consume just passes through your system without providing any benefit. But when you add black pepper, the pepperine in the pepper increases curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. And that's not a typo. 2,000% better absorption just from adding a tiny pinch of black pepper. If you're also using coconut oil or MCT oil in your coffee, like we discussed earlier, that helps even more because curcumin is fat soluble and needs fat to be absorbed properly. Hit like if this 2000% absorption fact just blew your mind. Chronic inflammation is one of the most damaging processes happening in aging bodies. It's linked not just to muscle loss, but to nearly every chronic disease we associate with getting older: heart disease, diabetes, arthritis, Alzheimer's, cancer. They all have chronic inflammation as a common underlying factor. So, by addressing inflammation every single morning with this powerful combination of turmeric and black pepper, you're not just protecting your muscles, you are protecting your entire body from the slow damage that accumulates over years and decades. Think of inflammation like rust on a car. A little bit of rust in one spot might not seem like a big deal, but over time, that rust spreads and weakens the entire structure until the car falls apart. Turmeric and black pepper are like rust prevention that you apply every single day to keep your body strong and functional. The anti inflammatory effect also helps with recovery after any kind of physical activity. When you use your muscles, you create inflammation as part of the natural repair process. But if that inflammation becomes excessive or chronic, it actually prevents proper recovery and leads to more muscle breakdown. Comment: inflammation, yes or no? Is this your biggest issue? Turmeric helps keep that inflammation at a healthy level where your body can repair and strengthen without causing additional damage. This is the balance you need for healthy aging: some inflammation for repair and adaptation, but not so much that it causes harm. Subscribe because part 3 reveals the biggest mistakes people make with turmeric. And now we're at number 1, the foundation you already have in your kitchen. Number 1 might surprise you because it's the coffee itself. The black coffee you're already drinking has powerful benefits that most people completely overlook. Coffee is loaded with antioxidants that protect your cells from the oxidative stress that breaks down muscle tissue as you age. Every time you breathe, every time you move, every time your body processes food, you create free radicals that damage your cells. Antioxidants neutralize those free radicals before they can cause harm. Coffee improves your physical performance by increasing adrenaline levels and helping your body break down fat for fuel during activity. It boosts your metabolism and helps you maintain a healthy body composition, which is crucial because excess body fat creates inflammation that accelerates muscle loss. Cinnamon improves your insulin sensitivity, which means your muscles can actually absorb and use the nutrients you're giving them instead of letting those nutrients get stored as fat or flushed out of your system. It also reduces inflammation throughout your entire body. And chronic inflammation is one of the main drivers of muscle breakdown as you age. The inflammation is like a slow fire burning away your muscle tissue day after day. And cinnamon helps put out that fire. Make sure you're using Ceylon cinnamon, which is the true cinnamon, not the cheaper cassia variety that you find in most grocery stores. The difference matters more than you might think. Cassia contains higher levels of a compound called coumarin, which can be harmful to your liver in large amounts if you're using it every single day. Ceylon cinnamon is safer for daily use and actually contains more of the beneficial compounds that help with blood sugar control and inflammation reduction. So you can find Ceylon cinnamon at most health food stores or online. And while it costs a bit more than regular cinnamon, you're only using half a teaspoon per day. One container will last you months. Smash like if you want the next ingredients list explained the same way. Simple and research backed. Number 7 is cocoa powder. And this is where your morning coffee starts to taste like an indulgent treat while doing serious work for your muscles. When you add 1 to 2 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa powder to your coffee, you're flooding your body with compounds called flavonoids that improve blood flow to every tissue in your body, including your muscles. Better blood flow means more oxygen getting delivered to your muscle cells. More oxygen means better endurance, faster recovery, and muscles that can work harder without fatigue. Think about it this way. Your muscles are like engines, and oxygen is the fuel they need to run efficiently. When blood flow is restricted due to aging, inflammation, or arterial stiffness, your muscles can't perform at their best. They tire quickly, they feel weak, they struggle with tasks that should be simple. Cocoa powder opens up those blood vessels and lets your muscles breathe again. It's like removing a kink from a garden hose and suddenly having full water pressure again. Comment, cinnamon, or cocoa. So, which one surprised you more? Plus, cocoa creates a delicious mocha flavor that makes this healthy routine something you'll actually look forward to every morning instead of something you have to force yourself to do. The flavonoids in cocoa also support cardiovascular health, which is intimately connected to muscle health. Your heart is a muscle too, and when it's functioning optimally, it can pump nutrient rich blood to all your other muscles more effectively. Many of my patients tell me that adding cocoa powder to their coffee is the easiest change they've ever made because it actually makes their coffee taste better while providing all these health benefits. You're not sacrificing taste for health, you're getting both at the same time. Subscribe and turn on notifications. Part 2 covers the one mistake that ruins these results. These two are just a warm up. Number 6 changes your energy completely. No more afternoon crashes. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're probably wondering how adding fat to your coffee could possibly help you lose fat and build muscle. But number 6 is going to completely change the way you think about energy. When you add just 1 teaspoon of coconut oil or MCT oil to your coffee, you're giving your body a source of fuel that doesn't spike your blood sugar or require insulin to process. These medium chain triglycerides are converted directly into ketones, which your brain and muscles can use for immediate, clean energy. For seniors who struggle with fatigue and low energy throughout the day, this is absolutely crucial. You're not relying on sugar or carbohydrates that give you a quick boost followed by a crash that leaves you exhausted and craving more sugar. You're giving your body clean, sustained energy that keeps you active and moving for hours. And remember, staying active is one of the most important factors in maintaining muscle mass as you age. If you're too tired to move, if you're spending most of your day sitting because you just don't have the energy, you're going to lose muscle no matter what else you do. Start with 1 teaspoon of coconut oil or MCT oil, and you can gradually increase to 1 tablespoon as your body adapts to using fat for fuel. Some people worry about adding fat to their coffee, especially if they've been told for years that fat makes you fat. But this is healthy fat that your body actually needs for hormone production, brain function, and cellular health. The ketones produced from MCT oil can cross the blood brain barrier and provide fuel directly to your brain, which is why many people report feeling mentally sharper and more focused after adding this to their morning routine. Press like. So this reaches one more senior who needs this today. That mental clarity translates into better motivation to stay active and engaged throughout the day. You're not fighting through brain fog. You're not struggling to remember what you need to do. You're alert, focused, and ready to move. And that movement is what signals your muscles to stay strong instead of wasting away. The combination of physical energy and mental clarity creates a positive cycle where you feel good, so you move more. And because you move more, you feel even better. Comment, I will test this and report back in 7 days. One more thing about MCT oil or coconut oil. It helps with the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins and compounds, which means it's going to work synergistically with some of the other ingredients we're about to discuss. Everything in this formula is designed to work together, not in isolation. If you're serious about staying independent, subscribe now. This is a full series. The next 3 ingredients are where the real transformation happens. Number 5 is where most people make a fatal mistake. Number 5 is where I see people sabotaging themselves without even realizing it. If you're adding regular creamer or low protein plant milk to your coffee, you're missing a huge opportunity to feed your muscles exactly what they need. And so when you add about a quarter cup of real milk, preferably whole milk, or a high protein option, you're giving your muscles immediate access to protein for repair and calcium for bone strength. Your muscles and bones work together as a system. Strong bones support strong muscles. and strong muscles protect your bones from fractures and breaks. Many plant-based milk alternatives have almost no protein at all. I'm talking about almond milk, coconut milk, cashew milk that you might be using because you think it's healthier if that's what you've been using. You need to check the label right now. Look for options that have at least 6 to 8 grams of protein per serving, or stick with dairy milk if your body tolerates it well. Some people do better with lactose free milk, and that's perfectly fine as long as it still contains adequate protein. So the protein is what matters here. Hit like right now if you want more videos. Protecting your strength after 60. The calcium in milk is especially important because as you age, your bones become more vulnerable to loss of density and strength. When you combine calcium with muscle building protein and the resistance that comes from actually using those muscles, you create an environment where both your bones and muscles can stay strong together. And this synergy is something that isolated supplements often fail to achieve because they're missing the complete nutritional package that whole foods provide. You're not just getting calcium, you're getting protein, vitamins, minerals, and other compounds that all work together. And this is about working with your body's natural systems instead of trying to trick your body with isolated nutrients. Your body recognizes whole food nutrition and knows exactly what to do with it. It can absorb it efficiently, it can use it effectively, it can build strong tissue that lasts. Comment the first ingredient you'll add tomorrow. No excuses. Subscribe. My next upload is the preparation guide. You can't miss. Milk gives you protein, but number 4 is what keeps your joints from falling apart when you use those new muscles. What good is building stronger muscles if your knees hurt too much to walk? What good is having more energy if your shoulders are too stiff to lift anything? This is where most muscle building advice falls apart for seniors. Everyone focuses only on the muscle and forgets that you need healthy joints, tendons, and ligaments to actually use that muscle. Number 4 is collagen. And this becomes absolutely essential as you age because your body's natural collagen production drops dramatically after age 30. What if the coffee sitting in your kitchen right now could be the difference between losing your independence and staying strong for the next 20 years? I'm not talking about some expensive supplement you need to order online or a complicated medical treatment that requires a doctor's prescription. I'm talking about taking something you already drink every single morning and turning it into a weapon against the most dangerous threat facing anyone over the age of 60. I'm Dr. William Lee, and I've spent years working with patients who come to me terrified. They're watching their strength disappear. They're struggling with simple tasks that used to be effortless. They're facing the nightmare of becoming dependent on others just to get through a normal day. Let me tell you about a patient who changed everything for me. She walked into my office at 68 years old, and I could see the desperation in her eyes. She told me she used to be the strong one in her family. She gardened without help. She traveled whenever she wanted. She got down on the floor to play with her grandchildren and got back up without thinking twice. But something had shifted over the past few years. Getting out of a chair required planning and effort. Carrying a bag of groceries from the car to the house left her exhausted. Even getting dressed in the morning had become a challenge that made her question if this was just what aging meant. She tried everything she could find: expensive supplements from the health store that promised miraculous results, diet changes based on advice from friends and family members, exercise programs specifically designed for seniors, but nothing worked. The supplements sat unused in her cabinet after the first week because she saw zero improvement. The diet changes made her miserable without delivering any noticeable strength. The exercise programs were either too difficult and left her in pain for days, or too easy and produced absolutely nothing. She was losing strength, losing confidence, and, worst of all, she was losing hope. During one of our consultations, I asked her a simple question: "What's the first thing you do every morning when you wake up?" She looked confused, probably wondering what this had to do with her muscle loss and weakness. Then she answered, "I make coffee. I've been drinking coffee every morning for 40 years. So that's when everything clicked. Her morning coffee wasn't just a habit or a comforting ritual. It could become the foundation of a complete muscle building strategy that would transform her strength in her life, but she needed to stop drinking it plain and start adding 8 specific ingredients that would turn her regular cup of coffee into a powerhouse formula for protecting and rebuilding muscle tissue. 3 months later, she came back to my office completely transformed. She was walking 3 miles every single day without pain. She was back in her garden, planting and weeding for hours. She was playing on the floor with her grandchildren and standing up easily. The fear had been replaced with confidence. The frustration had turned into joy, and it started with one simple change to her morning coffee routine. Tap light. If you refuse to accept weakness as normal, aging, but the transformation went deeper than physical strength. She told me her entire outlook on life had shifted. She was making plans again instead of canceling them. She was looking forward to the future instead of dreading it. She had reclaimed something that had been slowly disappearing, and that was her sense of self. She wasn't just stronger in her body, she was stronger in her mind and spirit. Comment your age, just a number. So I'm tracking who's watching this. Before I share the exact 8 additions that created this transformation, I need you to understand something. This isn't theory. This isn't guesswork. This is a proven strategy that works in the real world for real people who are facing real struggles with age related weakness. These aren't complicated protocols that only work in a laboratory setting. These are practical strategies you could start using tomorrow morning. Subscribe because the next video breaks down the exact daily schedule morning, afternoon, night. But before I reveal what made her strong again, you need to understand the invisible enemy stealing your strength right now. There's a medical condition affecting almost every adult over the age of 30, and most people have never even heard of it. It's called sarcopenia, which is the scientific term for age related muscle loss starting around age 30. You begin losing between 3 and 5% of your muscle mass every single decade. So that might not sound like much at first, but think about what that means over time. By the time you reach your 60s, you could have lost up to 15% of the muscle you once had. And by your 70s or 80s, that number could be 30% or more. This isn't just about looking less toned or fitting into different clothes. This is about your ability to live independently. This is about moving without pain. This is about preventing falls that could put you in a hospital or nursing home. This is about maintaining a metabolism that keeps you healthy instead of storing fat and creating disease. When you lose muscle, your entire body suffers in ways most people never connect. You become more prone to falls and fractures because you don't have the strength to catch yourself when you stumble. Your metabolism slows down dramatically because muscle tissue burns calories even when you're resting. And without that muscle, your body shifts into fat storage mode. Your blood sugar becomes harder to control because muscle is where your body stores glucose. And when you lose muscle, that sugar has nowhere to go except into your bloodstream where it causes damage. Even your confidence takes a massive hit because you can't do the things you used to do with ease. You start avoiding activities. You start saying no to invitations. You start planning your life around your limitations instead of your possibilities. Hit like if you want me to keep exposing what doctors don't tell you about aging. The consequences extend even further than most people realize. When your muscles weaken, your posture changes, which leads to chronic back pain and neck pain that never seems to go away. Your balance deteriorates, making every step feel a little less secure and every staircase feel like a potential disaster. Your bone density decreases because bones need the stress and pull of muscle to stay strong and healthy. Your immune system weakens because muscle tissue plays a role in immune function that scientists are only beginning to fully understand. The cascade of negative effects just keeps building. But here's the truth that most doctors don't emphasize enough because they're too busy writing prescriptions. Muscle loss is not inevitable. It's never too late to start rebuilding. Your muscles have an incredible ability to respond to the right nutrition and the right stimulus, even if you're in your 60s, 70s, 80s, or beyond. I've seen patients in their 80s make remarkable improvements in strength and function. When they finally understand this principle and apply it correctly, the key is knowing exactly what your muscles need and giving it to them consistently every single day. Comment your biggest struggle: balance, grip, or constant fatigue. And that's where these 8 powerful additions to your morning coffee come into play. I'm going to count them down from number 8 to number 1, and each one serves a specific purpose in this muscle building formula. Some will give you clean energy that lasts all day. Some will reduce the inflammation that's actively destroying your muscle tissue. Some will provide the exact building blocks your muscles desperately need to repair and grow stronger. And together, they create a synergistic effect that's more powerful than any single ingredient could ever be on its own. Think of it like building a house. Each ingredient is a different construction material. And when you put them all together in the right way, you create something strong and lasting. Subscribe. I'm releasing the muscle building workout guide for seniors next week. Now let me show you the 8 ingredients that flip the switch, starting with number 8, something sitting in your spice cabinet right now. Number 8 is cinnamon. And this is one that surprised even me when I first discovered its benefits for muscle health. Most people think of cinnamon as just a flavor enhancer for their oatmeal or desserts, but it's actually a metabolic game changer when it comes to protecting and building muscle tissue. When you add just half a teaspoon of cinnamon to your coffee, you're helping your body balance blood sugar levels throughout the entire day. Why does this matter for your muscles? Because when your blood sugar spikes and crashes repeatedly throughout the day, your body goes into fat storage mode instead of muscle building mode.